All right, let's talk about leveling up your Python skills. We're going to move past the absolute basics and tackle two really common problems. Honestly, getting these right is what separates code that just works from code that's professional. We're talking about handling time the smart way and making choices in your code super clear. Okay, let's get into it.
So be honest for a second. Take a look at some of your recent code. Do you have lines in there like if status equals 2 or dates that are just typed out as plain old strings? Hey, if you do, you're definitely not alone. But there is a much cleaner, smarter, and, a more Pythonic way to handle that stuff.
And really, that's our whole mission here today. We're going to take what I call dumb data, numbers and strings that don't really have any built-in meaning, and we're going to transform it into smart data. Data that actually explains itself, makes your code more solid, and is way, way easier to deal with down the road.
First up on our list, we are going to tackle time. Instead of just treating dates and times like they're some numbers or a piece of text, we're going to give them actual superpowers using Python's built-in DateTime module.
Look at this. We're not just storing a bunch of numbers here. We're actually creating two DateTime objects, A and B. You got to think of each one as this rich, intelligent thing that knows exactly what it is. It knows it's a year, a month, a day, an hour, all the way down to the microsecond. It has context.
So what do you think happens when we do something as simple as subtraction on these things? I mean, when we ask one of these smart objects, hey, how far apart are you from that other one? What kind of answer do we even get?
Boom! The first answer is 4. Now, Python is smart enough to look at those two moments in time and tell you, hey, there are 4 full days between them. It's not just doing basic math, it's actually understanding the concept of a day. And that is incredibly useful.
But what if you need to get more granular? What if you need more precision? Well, you can just ask for the total underscore seconds, and you get this huge number back, almost 518,400 seconds. This just shows you how flexible it is. You can get the exact level of detail you need, all from one simple little operation.
Okay, so doing math with time is one thing, but a lot of the time, we just need to communicate it, right? We're constantly needing to turn these powerful objects into strings that a person can actually read for a report or a website, and then, just as often, turn those strings back into objects we can work with.
The best way to think about it is like a universal translator for time. On one side, you have the Python object. It's perfect for your code, perfect for calculations. And on the other side, you've got the nicely formatted string that a human can actually understand. Luckily, Python gives us 2 simple tools to jump between these two worlds.
To go from the object to the string, you use string format. You can remember it as string format time. You just hand it your DateTime object and tell it what format you want, and poof, it builds you a perfect string. You get total control over how it looks.
And to go the other way, from a string back to one of those powerful objects, we use string parse time. Think string parse time. As long as the string you give it matches the format you specify, Python will parse it and hand you back a fully functional DateTime object, all ready to go for more calculations.
Okay, so we've tamed time. Now let's talk about taming our choices. We're going to move on to a problem that, oh man, it just plagues so much code out there: magic numbers.
So, what in the world is a magic number? It's a number just like this 2 right here, if status equals 2. What does 2 even mean? Is it completed? Error? Pending? Who knows? You have no idea without going on a scavenger hunt for a comment or some documentation. It makes code confusing and super easy to break. The solution? It's called an enum.
Creating an enum, which is short for enumeration, is actually incredibly simple. You just import it, create a class, and then you define these human-readable names for your fixed set of values. So now, instead of that mysterious 2 floating around in our code, we can just write color.green. Instantly, everyone reading that code knows exactly what's going on.
So we've defined this color enum. That's great, but this is where it really starts to shine, when you actually put it to work in your code. This is where you'll see how it makes your life so much easier.
And here's the real power: flexibility. You can get at the members of your enum in a bunch of different ways. The most readable and probably the most common is just by its name, like color.red. But you can also look it up by its actual value, color of 1, or even by its name as a string. This makes your code both super readable and really robust. But wait, there's more! Here is another fantastic feature. Enums are iterable. What does that mean? It means you can loop through them. Just imagine you need to fill a drop-down menu on a website with all the possible color options, or you need to check if what a user typed is a valid choice. With an enum, it's just a simple, clean for loop.
And this right here is what you get back. It's a clean list of every single member of your color enum. It's this self-contained, self-documenting collection of all the valid choices. You don't have to keep some separate list of allowed values somewhere else. The enum is the list. It becomes your single source of truth.
So, let's wrap this up. The really crucial takeaway here is this. By using tools like DateTime for time and enum for choices, you're just writing code that is fundamentally better. It's more readable for you and for your whole team. It's way easier to debug because you can't have typos or invalid numbers. And, trust me, it is a breeze to maintain and update later on.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought, kind of a challenge. Think about the code you're working on right now. You know the one. That status code, that user type, that setting that's just represented by some lonely, confusing number. What's the very first magic number you're going to hunt down and replace with a clean, clear, professional enum?